Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Quick post-race day update. Again, like I said yesterday, I had an absolute blast at the track. I did not get a personal best, but looking at the averages between the previous year's track day and yesterday, I was consistently 1 to 2 seconds faster. And like I said before, the car just felt incredible. I don't know why I feel like I keep having to explain that. And I'm almost thinking that the 159.3 I got a year ago was just a complete fluke. But anyways, here we are. Super stoked in the car. A couple of things. Ashley strikes again. He gave me his MMR seat delete. So stoked on that. But after the drive home yesterday, I decided to make a couple of changes, so I'll show you guys those. And after yesterday's drive home from the track, I went and bought earplugs. Guys, I like loud cars, I really do, but it was a ton of fun with that setup around town. Just sounded nasty, but on the track it was fine. But dude, driving to and from the track was brutal. Even with earplugs in, going uphill all the way home. It was absolutely deafening. So I am going back to my old setup, but with a twist. I'm leaving on the 14-inch mufflers that I was running with the turn down. So they're just clamped in for now. Eventually I'll weld all this stuff and make it nice, but they're just clamped in. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited to see how it sounds, because as you guys know, it sounded really good before with just the MagnaFlow. So I think this will tone it down and smooth it out a little bit, and I'm kind of excited to see just how nice it sounds. So I'm gonna do the first fire up for you guys here. So you're gonna share the moment with me. So let's get her fired up. Sounds very responsible. It's like a responsible man's track day exhaust, Kevin. Anyways, wow, that's a cold start. Not shabby. I do need to change the setup a little bit. I need to shorten the intermediate pipe for this side. The angle, the tip's kind of wonky, and it's not the same as that side. Not a huge deal. It's not rubbing anything. Height-wise, it's about the same, but the angle of it's kind of funny, and it's sticking out a little farther than that side. So I cut both pipes the same length, but I guess that wasn't the answer. Not gonna lie, I'm a little sad, but not terribly sad. Sounds good. Well, it's definitely still loud, but it sounds way smoother. Huh. Alright, well, I'm gonna finish dialing this in, then we'll take it out for a quick spin. Alright, so here we are. I'm gonna talk quietly so you can hear the exhaust. It is pedestrian. Very responsible like of me, I'll say that. so I guess, it is nice being able to hear the engine, not the exhaust, but the engine. When it's so loud, you can't hear mechanical noises. I don't like that, so. Definitely very nice tone, for sure. It's not quiet. I'm just not used to it. Bear with me, people. I like them loud, but sometimes it's just too much. But this is a good setup. I mean, on the road right now, I'm hearing more tire noise than an exhaust. So, and for whatever reason, these 315s, I know there's more tire, but compared to the 295, same tire trim pattern and everything else, these are much louder. I don't remember the 295s being this loud, so maybe that's because the exhaust is quiet, so I just hear it. But anyways, we're taking this thing to the car wash because it is absolutely filthy. There was so much dust in the track yesterday. Between the dust in the track and all the brake dust, these brake pads are super dusty, so just a lot of dust. I want to rip on it, but this guy's going straight. Maybe I'll let those cars go for a second. I mean, it sounds good. There's no back seat, so you still get to hear the exhaust a lot. Once I put in that seat delete that I got from Ashley, you'll probably lose some more volume. Probably not a ton. It's just kind of like that heavy car door stuff. Anyways, let's try a little rim here. What I really miss though with that other setup, the dump setup, is when you would rev match downshifting, man, it was just sounded spicy. And you almost don't even hear it anymore. Ah, yes, track brakes. But you also hear all the other noises in the car, which I'm not a huge fan of. But the vibrations from the exhaust before with the other setup would just rattle the crap out of the emergency brake handle button, and it just drove me nuts. There's pluses and minuses to both setups for sure. It does feel like it's missing some spice, but I was also just used to driving it down at sea level, which is where the track is at. We're at 4,000 feet up here, so there's obviously some power loss there. I can probably hold a conversation in the car now, which I don't really drive the car a lot with other people, but I suppose that could come in handy at times, being able to talk to people. So that's nice. I don't have to even shut it off in a drive-through. Also a plus. Again, I don't drive the car that much anymore around town. I do, but now that there's no back seat, can't take my kids anywhere, so it sounds good. It's really, really smooth. I like that about it for sure. trouble last night at the track for goofing off, so I need to get busted off the street. See, this is why I can't have a car with more horsepower. I mean, this is enough to get me in more than enough trouble. So, is more power great? Sure, more power is awesome, but you're just gonna want to use it. And this is enough to have a lot of fun, to be a little reckless, but maybe not go to jail. I don't know. Just on the track, yeah, that setup would be totally fine. But I still drive the car. I take it to work sometimes.